Welcome to the AI Build series where you get to watch me build an AI company from complete scratch. For today's video, we have one goal and one goal only, and that is to get our first client. So here's the plan. For the last 2 weeks, we've had two main methods of trying to get our first client. That's been cold email and cold calling. On the cold email side of things, we've been running a very unsuccessful and ineffective campaign so far, going after clinic businesses like med spas, cosmetic clinics, all that kind of stuff. And we've run into a lot of issues, predominantly because of the emails that we're sending to their clinic email addresses. And I addressed it in my last video that there's a lot of issues when you send it to them. And from a cold calling standpoint, we have the wrong offer to the wrong audience. The problem with cold calling we're just using Google Maps to get the numbers for these businesses is a lot of them are very small businesses. And what we're doing is we're appealing to these bigger businesses who want to take a leap and implement AI. Now, the problem with us using Google Maps to get these numbers and cold call them is they're not our right customer. They're too small to think, let's take a chance, let's hear how AI could be implemented, because they're just thinking of where's my next job coming from. The type of business that we're going after to implement our custom AI solutions to be able to help them save money, make money, and save time are businesses doing north of $1 million. Maybe you could get away with a business doing more than $500,000 a year, but a business that's doing pretty well, that have volume for us to be able to make them more money, save them money, and save them time. And these small businesses, which 9 out of 10, more than that, 99 out of 100 are these small businesses that don't actually qualify to be the type of company that it would work for. So one, they're not really interested, and two, they're never going to buy from us in the first place. So the process for now that I'm going through is creating a very productized, potentially a bit cheaper offer that we can pitch to these businesses and not lead from an AI standpoint, but from an actual pain solution standpoint, where AI is part of our solution to deliver it. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. Step one is to get this smaller offer sorted so that it can work through cold calling and that we can have a bit more success with our cold email campaign. And then from there, I'll write the new cold email campaign, I'll write a script for cold calling, and we'll do some actually calls and then send some emails. And whilst I'm doing all that, I'm gonna bring you with me, showing you exactly how I'm writing the emails, how I'm gonna approach the cold calling script, and how it all goes. Like I said in my first video, I want this to be as transparent and honest as possible. I want to show the process of me building $1 million AI company from scratch. I'm taking you with me. Okay, so the first step that I needed to do to actually allow us to be able to get this first client is go, what are the methods we're using to get this client, which I mentioned is cold email and cold callings mainly, and then I'm going to build some ads. But what we were offering didn't really work for the methods that we were using to get the clients. So for example, what our main offer was an AI audit to see how AI could be implemented within your business to solve problems and actually be solutions that will solve the problems that you're experiencing and the bottlenecks that you're facing. Now, why that is actually really valuable in itself is 85% of the time, there's some stat, 85% of the time a business implements an AI solution of some sort. After maybe it's a month or a couple of weeks or 2 months, whatever it is, it's within the first sort of 2 months, month and a half, they're not using it anymore. For maybe it breaks, maybe it wasn't the right solution and doesn't work anymore. For whatever reason, 85% of the time when a business implements an AI solution, after a month and a half or 2 months, it doesn't work. Now, the problem with us offering an AI audit is when we were cold calling, and for cold calling specifically, we're cold calling home service businesses. The people we are reaching are much smaller. They're smaller companies who have small teams, sometimes not even teams at all, and they're a one-man band. And they're not going to even benefit from an AI audit, let alone be interested in it. So what is the point of offering something that, one, they don't benefit from, and two, they're not interested in? For us to hit the type of business that we need to get in order for the AI audit to be valuable and justifiable, is they need to be a business who's actually doing a very substantial amount of revenue and they have a substantial amount of volume and employees within the business for there to be enough for bottlenecks to occur that AI can seamlessly solve. So for us to actually be able to hit our perfect client who would, one, be interested, and two, it would be actually beneficial from cold calling specifically, the volume we would have to do would have to be so insurmountably greater than what we were currently doing that it's not even really a viable option. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, we need to come up with an offer that actually works for cold calling and cold emailing as well. We need an offer that solves a niche problem and has a niche solution. So that's what my job has been for the last 24 hours. And I want to show you what exactly I came up with and what we are going to sell. First of all, what I had to do was I had to do a little bit of research as to what are the niche problems and solutions that we can offer to those problems. And what I found was the main one that sort of resonated with me and the one that I thought, okay, let's do that, was something around these voice agents. These voice agents that can be receive calls, make calls, and yes, they're still not at the level we sort of want them to be yet. However, they can still be extremely beneficial for a business that's missing calls or unable to be with everyone at once. So that's the small offer that I went with, the niche problem that we're going to be offering through cold calling and cold emailing specifically. So what I needed to do before crafting this cold calling, cold email strategy and the pricing and everything was I wanted to understand the actual psychological profile of the customers that we're going after. And for that, that's like clinics, clinic-style businesses, and home service companies. Home service companies mainly from a cold calling, so that's the main one we're going over to start. And I want to tell you the prompt that I gave ChatGPT in deep research to be able to get me a full psychological profile that fully goes into their desires, their pains, their problems, and everything that I need to know in actually writing a script and addressing their problems. Here's the actual prompt that I gave ChatGPT. So as you can see, it says, act as a behavioral psychologist and direct response marketer. I want you to deeply analyze the psychological pains, frustration, fears, hidden objections, unspoken desires, and ultimate desires of cosmetic clinic owners and home service company owners as it relates to answering phone calls, handling leads, and booking clients. Break this down into service level pains, hidden frustrations, core fears, aspirations and desires, and buying triggers and objections and skepticism. Tie each point directly to how an AI voice agent that answers missed calls, books jobs, and handles clients 24/7 either solves, alleviates, or fulfills those pains and desires. Present the findings in a structured way I can directly use for cold calling scripts, emails, and sales conversations. Now that prompt gave me an unbelievable answer and response, and that it took me like 25 minutes to actually go through it itself. But from there, I was able to actually address, and not even so address, but understand the exact psychological profile of the type of business that I'm going after. And as a business owner, if you don't know the pains, the problems, and the desires and aspirations of the business or the ideal customer that you're going after, you're going to struggle, especially against someone who does know exactly who they're speaking to. So I wanted to know who I was speaking to. In regards to the deep research tool, it's such an underutilized thing that people, like I said, underutilizing, that takes all of these different sources and gives it a really, really in-depth response. Because when I asked it first on a surface level response, I didn't click deep research. It gave me a very surface level answer and good, but however, there wasn't much substance to it. So I put it in deep research mode and gave it an actual prompt, and then it gave me an insane, I'll actually show you, gave me an insane response where if you look here, and I'll just scroll through it, it's still going. It's still going. That was only one of the businesses. Now it goes into the home service stuff. And you can see here that it delves so massively into the different points so that I'm able to understand it when addressing these in the cold calls or the cold emails. And then I got it to summarize it for me because I wanted a summary version as well. But that just gave me an understanding of the client and the customer that I'm actually going after. And then I needed to be able to craft a solution for a very niche problem. So for that, I'm going to be, and I've got it written down here, implementing a sort of an AI voice agent, 24/7 receptionist that allows them to not miss any calls, book jobs automatically, and basically never takes a day off. And how I want to position it is because these home service company owners, they're very straightforward, especially in Australia. They don't want any fluff. They don't really care about AI and automation. What they care about is the missed calls, the missed jobs, the missed revenue, and the time that they spend catching up on all of these things to eventually not get the revenue that they should have. So how I'm going to position it, and I've got my notebook here, I'll move my laptop out of the way, is a 24/7 receptionist that never sleeps, never misses a call, and pays for itself by saving even just one job a month. They don't care about AI automation, they just want no missed calls and jobs, stop losing sleep, and stop callbacks. And the process that I'm gonna take to actually sell these, before I actually run you through me and Lucas actually doing a cold call, and then the exact cold emailing process I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna run you through the high level process of the cold call. So I'm gonna cold call, then I'm gonna sell them on a live demo. So I'll hop on a call where we can live demonstrate this voice agent so they can picture exactly how it would work for them. And from there, if they're interested, they turn into a client. If not, and an absolute last case, we can offer some sort of free trial for them. Now that's just a thought, I might not actually do that, but if they can experience it and see the value behind it, then they're a client for a very long time until it breaks, basically. All right, so massive progress today, to be honest, in relation to the voice agent. I've actually still building out a demo, but built out a home service company specific agent through the software called Vappy. Now what I'm gonna do is, once I get that sorted, I might make a specific video on it itself of running me through it, but on this one, I'm gonna show just a quick demo of it as well. Yesterday, I really struggled with how we were gonna position it and where the benefit was to these businesses, but I've got that nailed down. All I need to do then is get on these calls and demonstrate it for the client. For that first client, I think one thing that we're going to use to sort of enhance the whole offer is zero risk upfront. So we'll give it a free trial, simply because the most important thing is just to implement it for a business and play around with it for an actual business, because that is the quickest way we'll learn. We don't learn from just playing on the sidelines, doing everything. So I'm building a demo at the moment. Lucas is cold calling, offering it. He's had some positive responses, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm just going to keep playing around with this demo voice agent. To be honest, it sounds like and looks like a completely different language to me, because I'm learning and getting ChatGPT to explain it all for me in the most simple way possible. But that's how you start. It all looks like gibberish. It looks like another language. All right, so I've just been playing around with the AI voice agent, and I actually created a thing on Twilio, which is where I need to buy a phone number to be able to connect to these softwares, so that way we can actually make sure they're running. I need to make sure this camera's straight, but I need to get the back end sorted. For example, get the phone numbers set up, actually enable it to be able to book appointments and check the calendars. And what I'm actually doing now is I've got a page written in my notebook, and I'm doing it now, but I wanted to film something quickly, is I'm writing out some angles that I can do for ads that we can run through Meta, because I think that's one of the quickest ways that we can get inbound leads, conversations going. Yesterday, I got a response from a med spa clinic, and they were interested in how we could help them implement AI within the business. So we messaged today, he didn't respond. However, we're gonna call tomorrow. He seemed really interested, like he was playing around with AI already, and just wanted to speak to people who have a bit of an idea. So didn't respond to the message today, but Lucas is gonna reach out tomorrow. I think we can really help him. This is interesting. This doesn't have anything to do with getting clients, but I had a friend reach out to me last week, and he's just sort of put forward himself to be able to help out with the business, to be able to help in any way and work with us, which I really liked. I can see a lot of potential in doing it. My only thing is, us not having clients yet, it's sort of like, yeah, come in, help us. Oh, you're in, but you're not doing anything, because we don't have anything for them to do. I think it's important that we get a few clients first, understand how it all works, so that way we can, well, I specifically can outline, okay, this is what I want you to do. I can guide him through it. I can help him understand what his role is, and not worrying about him coming in and then not having any work or not doing anything. So that's my idea around that. I think that's the best way to actually do it. Once we do get some work in, I can see that working really well. I mean, he's really eager to learn. He's got some skills. He's done AI stuff in the past, and I know that he would be able to learn really quickly. So today, Lucas put forward an idea to me this morning. He said, get all of your leads from your Meta Business Suite, even Google, and let's re-engage them with an email campaign. Now, maybe not an email campaign, but I really like his idea of getting all the leads that I've already generated for myself, for my marketing agency, and then reaching out to them, offering exactly what we're offering. Why not use the leads that I've already generated through ad campaigns I've run in the past for my marketing agency, and leads I've gotten in the past and businesses I've spoken to reach out to them, because there's already that initial connection. I've spoken to them before. We've built a pre-existing relationship. I don't know why I hadn't thought of it, to be honest. It's just sort of completely skipped my mind. It's the warm outreach. It's reaching out to people you know and going, hey, is there anyone you know that would be interested in X? So you're not directly asking or selling them. However, if they are interested, they say, yeah, me. So that's what I'm going to do. Right now, I am collating a list of every lead that I've been in contact with for the last 2 years. And I'll want to reach out and see if they or anyone they know is interested. And I'm willing to do it for free. I want to try and send a few today. I'm going to send a few today. Why wait? I'm going to do this now. I'm just going to collate the list, draft the message, send a few today. And then I'll check in. I'm back. My eye is itchy. I've just got done compiling a list of more than 200 different leads and people that I've spoken to over the last 2 years within my immediate network and people I've spoken to who I can reach out, and I'm actually going to read you the message that I've drafted that I'm going to email to everyone. So I've got listed here 15 people straight away I want to reach out to of good relationships I have, people who run businesses, could work for themselves, but most likely they just know other people who run businesses who it could be implemented for. And then I've got 200 plus other people who I've come into contact with and had conversations with in the past. Here is the script. It is, hi, first name, so let's just say it's Dan. Hi Dan, been a while since we last spoke. And this can be personalized to whatever, but I just thought for a generalized email that I could just copy and paste to majority of people. I'll change this for some, but just been a while since we last spoke. I'm working on some exciting AI projects right now. One of them is a voice agent that acts as a 24/7 receptionist for businesses. I'm looking to test it with a couple of pilot clients at the moment. I'm currently helping businesses get more leads, bookings, and their time back without hiring extra staff or wasting money on ads through properly utilizing AI. Is there anyone you like who might be interested in a conversation about that? ? Appreciate you, Jack. Now, the reason I say anyone you know or you like who might be interested in a conversation is because that doesn't feel salesy. It's just, do you know anyone that might be interested? Where they can go, yeah, I know this person, I know this person, I know this person. They might name one person, they might name 5. Or they might recognize the offer and want it themselves. So they say, I'm actually interested. To which I indirectly sell to them. In terms of, is there anyone that you like? That's a Hormozy one. To which I can then go, if they say no, there isn't, I can then respond in a bit of a funny way and just say, that's totally fine, I completely understand. Is there anyone you hate that might be interested? Because it's like, is there anyone you like? Okay, is there anyone you don't like that might be interested? So it just gives me another chance to follow up, another chance to get a message in there. I want to show you something cool. Now, I've just spent the last hour and a half sort of putting together just a little bit of a build for a minimum viable product landing page, I guess you could call it. Keep in mind, this is a first draft, but I think it looks pretty good. I think from a minimum viable product landing page, I think the colors look good. The little animation looks pretty good. And it gives it a page so that people can actually go to it. I think it's important that we just have, when people ask about what we do, they always ask, okay, what's your website? What's your website? What's your website? So me and Lucas were like 2 days ago, we're like, we need to get a website up. We need to get something so that we can give them so that they can go to the site and just see what we do. And if they're interested, fill out the form so then we can have a conversation. Maybe they book a call. Maybe they become one of our best clients. We don't know. In regards to the warm outreach, I've got a couple of positive responses from it. I've got a demo booked Monday, another potential interested guy, and I had a demo booked for yesterday, except I didn't hear back from him. And then I messaged him today, and I've lost my camera. My camera's gone. Shit. I think we're good. But I shot this guy a message today, and he said he was interested. I said, who do you know that might be interested in, and then I just talked about the voice agent and the stuff I'm doing with AI. And he said, oh, I might be interested. And I said, awesome. Do you have some time later today or tomorrow where we could have a conversation and to chat? And so we were going to try and speak yesterday. Didn't end up speaking because he didn't respond. And then I shot him a message earlier today. I said, hey, Alex, his name was, something about like, do you have 5 minutes to have a chat later today? Thanks, chat. And his response was one word. It was, nah. Yeah, thanks, man. And then I then responded to the nah message. I'm like, geez, you're giving me a lot there, man. I then responded, are you still interested? in blah, blah, blah. I can't remember verbatim what I said, but it was something around, are you still interested? And then he goes, nah. Yeah, thanks, man. And then I sent my last message, well, is there anyone that you know that might be? And he hasn't gotten back to that. I don't think I'll ever hear from him again. I could just call him out of the blue. That would be funny. My door's about to... That would be funny. If I just called him, he'd probably hang up on me. He actually might just tell me to F off. We got our first really interested prospect. So it was a past client I've worked with from an ads side of things. It's an e-com store selling physical products. And I reached back out to the warm list. I was doing the warm outreach. And I was saying something about the voice agent, but then I was speaking to him yesterday. And it wasn't the voice agent that would be beneficial for him. However, it's a conversational agent that can be implemented as a chat widget on their website to help people answer any questions they have or direct them to products that are specific to what they're after. Because it's a product for this business that people would have questions about and they think, oh, that's cool, but I don't know where to go, or I don't know which one I should get, because it's about engine maps. It's laser engraved engine maps. And it could not honestly be more perfect for a conversational AI chat widget. So I'm now building out a demo. If that works, we'll have our first proper client, and still reaching out to a bunch of others in a couple of conversations. But we'd made our first big, drastic, like in the works move to get that client. Ladies and gentlemen, we officially did it. As of 2 days ago, we got our first paying client, and I'll run you through the job briefly. Now, it's not a very big job. We did it basically at cost because, you know what, I'll run you through the job first. It's implementing an AI concierge chat. It's basically just a chat widget on a website for an e-commerce business. And it's to answer questions about the product and direct them to the specific product on their site that they are after. It's a niche product, so people aren't always aware of what it does, what it's for, and which one they should get. So it helps answer those questions and then actually link the product, which, in talking about this, I could see a lot of value. I can see not only for this business, it being valuable for, but for any business that sells online directly through a website. So my plan and my goal is to implement it at cost. I'm not trying to make a lot of money from this one. It's our first official client for the business paying, but it's to get a case study, it's to get a testimonial, it's to get results from which we can use and take that to hundreds of other businesses. And in the next video, I am going to show you what it is that I'm actually doing about the chat widget, how it works, and what my plan is moving forward. But I officially did it. This came through my warm outreach method, from which I messaged all of my past clients and said, hey, is there anyone who you know that would be interested? And I talked a little bit about what I'm doing with AI. And it wasn't anyone that he knew, but he himself was interested in having a conversation. Now, I went with the AI voice. However, it wasn't the AI voice that he was actually interested in. He was just interested in talking about AI as a whole and how it could be implemented. And I said, that would be perfect. He actually came to me, well, what if we could put something on the site that directly answered potential customers' questions and directed them to the product? So we're going to test it for the next month, see how it goes, see what the conversion rate does, and I'm going to document it all. I'm also going to document the efforts to get other clients. I'm going to post videos doing some cold calling because I really like cold calling. I like speaking to other people, and I think they're quite entertaining, quite funny. I'll cut out the bad ones, cut out the boring ones. Tried to live stream it. However, my Wi-Fi up here in my room is really bad, so it doesn't work too well. So I'm just going to record it, then going to edit it, then going to post it. If you haven't seen it, my most recent video was the cold calling video, and then also on the live section, there's my attempt at live streaming. But I'm excited. Our first official paying client's officially a business. Now it's to get results and get more. I'm bringing on a team member to help us get clients to do cold calls, cold outreach. So that'll be interesting. I'll also document that and how that goes. But if you have any questions or any areas you think I should improve with this video or this series or anything you want to see specifically, let me know in the comments because I want to make this a very good series. Now, I can be a bit slack with recording things every now and again just because I either forget, sometimes I just can't be bothered, or other stuff just gets in the way. So I'm going to do my best to honestly and transparently document everything. And if you see in a video that it would be best if I showed specifically what I'm talking about, tell me, because I want to. I want to improve this series, and I want to properly document everything in building this AI company from scratch.